Welcome, everybody. It is Sachi here. Sachi the Seer, also Gym Leader is Sachi. I am part of the Spiritual Gym Leaders, the creator of Pokémoncy, which is divination through Pokemon cards. We are doing a Virgo tarot reading, Pokémoncy and tarot reading today. So, if anybody has Virgo placements, of course this can apply to your Sun, Moon, Rising. It can also apply to your Venus. But if you have a particular Virgo placement, let's say Saturn, and you're trying to work more with Saturn, then this reading would be for you. You always read for what you are trying to focus on in your life. Okay, so we're doing things a little bit different here, obviously from a different vantage point. I'm also now doing things live from Instagram, and I will later be posting them to my YouTube, and obviously from a different vantage point as well. This will be posted afterwards on Instagram and then will be uploaded to YouTube. And yeah, so I do owe Virgo a bonus reading from about 5 months ago. If you haven't kept up with me on Instagram, I had some deaths in the family, or some deaths, interesting, a death, but more to come. I've gotten that message. And it just really made me contemplate. I had to take some time off and really focus on some other things. So thank you for your patience, Virgo. And yeah, this is the bonus reading that you deserved from 5 months ago. So I really hope that karmic reward is a theme around this time for you. I will say that for the bonus, I also told you that you'd get the extended for free. So if you're an IG subscriber, I'm going to do the extended live there, so you can access that immediately. But if you are not, then within the next day or so, the extended will be posted on my website for free. So you can go ahead and head there sometime tomorrow. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to do this, Virgo. So thanks for being kind of a little bit of a, I don't want to say an animal name, but thank you for letting me sort of test this out for you guys. And thank you all for your support. And if you'd like to purchase some badges or become an IG subscriber, I believe there's buttons here in the live in order to do that. So Virgo, let's hop into it. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse, the 10 of Wands in reverse, the 5 of Swords in reverse, and the Knight of Cups. So what this was telling me, Wheel of Fortune reverse, there is a cycle that is repeating once more. It's like you had this opportunity to sort of move on from it, or maybe you thought you were out of the cycle, but here we are again in the thick of it. With the 2 of Swords in reverse, it's telling me that you have all the information that you need this time. Maybe last time you didn't have something, maybe something was being hidden from you, or maybe you didn't want to see the truth, but that is no longer the case. With the 10 of Wands in reverse, it feels like it's not as much of a burden anymore because now you actually have the information. So before, it felt like a lot of the, I'm hearing like the burden of proof. So a lot of the burden was like not knowing, not understanding what was going on. But now things are clear. However, with the 5 of Swords coming out in reverse, it's telling me that you can't walk away from the situation because you don't want to be the quote unquote loser, right? There's some sort of situation where someone, it feels like they did you wrong and you can't walk away because they kind of one-upped you or they have the upper hand in some sort of way. And with the Knight of Cups in reverse, it's telling me that it's really because emotionally you can't walk away. Like your emotions are entangled in this because emotionally you want to feel like you won in some way. We had Apom using Fiddle Around, Drowsy using Hypnosis, Trainer, Adventurers, Discovery, and Clefairy, Moonlight. So with Apom Fiddle Around, this is telling me that someone was basically just fiddling around with you. As you can see, there are 3 Apoms here and they're kind of causing chaos around the town. So that's telling me that there could have been some sort of third-party situation or 2 people involved where someone, it feels like someone was messing around with you and another person. It's kind of like they pulled the wool over your eyes for a while, but again, Two of Swords in reverse, now you have that information. So it's not like you're in the dark. It's just what you see now you don't like, and you want to have the upper hand once again. With Drowsy using hypnosis, again, it feels like they kind of had you under hypnosis, which if you know, hypnosis sort of puts you to sleep. So I feel like they did what they could to sort of quell your confusion or whatever for a certain amount of time. And then basically, again, it got to a point where, boom, like your third eye open and you saw it for what it really is. But again, the reason why you haven't been able to move on from this and why you're still stuck in that karmic wheel is because you can't walk away right now. With Drowsy here, Drowsy is also a sleep Pokemon. It's a hypnosis Pokemon. So there could be some energy of being like extra tired lately, lethargic. Obviously, we just had the lunar eclipse in your constellation on the 25th of March with your sister sign Pisces, that solar eclipse in the constellation Pisces. So obviously, I know you're very heavily activated. Most of the collective is very tired and just went through it, but I feel like this is really influencing you because your third eye, right, psychic type, your third eye is was probably very overactive once you found these things out, right? It's like you were wondering, boom, you got the information, and now your mind's like, oh my gosh. So now it's like your mind is trying to take a rest. With Trainer Adventures Discovery, I'm hearing that you may have actually found this out from a third party, but I was getting, when I first got this card, was Trainer obviously indicates somebody else's energy, that someone else was just being an adventurer. Maybe they weren't being serious with you. Maybe you thought that there was some sort of commitment or that you could trust them or XYZ, whatever your situation may be, but turns out that you're just sort of I heard like a bump on their path. Oof, Virgo. But again, it does seem like something was discovered. You have found something out. And with Clefairy using Moonlight, this is a fairy type. Fairy type represents soulmate relationships, right? Soul contracts. You do this, I do that. We all have different types of soul contracts, whether they're friends, lovers, family members, pets, right? So with Moonlight here, it's telling me that you're learning a lot of like moon energy, right? Moon are things that are hidden and it's coming to light. So a lot of things that try to be kept under the surface are now in the light. You are learning a lot about moon energy, which is the divine feminine. That's like shadow stuff. So pretty intense energy coming out in the cleansing, Virgo. But like I said, this is a bonus reading that was due to you long ago. I also, right after I did the cleansing ceremony, my middle finger on my right hand got pinched a little bit. And so that is the masculine Saturn. So for some of you, you are really learning the physical limitations and physical restrictions. This may be a Saturn contract that you have with them, some sort of discipline or delayed gratification or something that you were trying to work for long term that ended up not being what you wanted it to be. So anyway, we are just going to do a see what pops up reading. Oh, did you see how that wanted to flip? Baldur core heal. Yeah, this is fighting type. Like this is the core. You have to heal the core of the issue here with Baldur, with core heal. Like at the core of the issue of what's happening is you have to heal your own wound. It has nothing to do with this other person or perhaps two other people. This is you and your wounding, okay? So we are going to do a see what pops up reading, but it looks like it might be a guided healing. So let's just see what pops up for you, Virgo. I'm just going to see what's going on, excuse me, right now for you. Let me take a sip of water. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse with the Page of Swords. So this is telling me that you do not feel as abundant as you actually are with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Someone may have made you, like, put you in lack, or let's put it this way, Virgo, and take some responsibility. You went through a situation where the way you responded to something has now put you in lack. I also feel like this has diminished your self-image. Like you might be being very hard on yourself in terms of how beautiful and handsome you are. I feel like this has really put a damper on the way that you see your physical reality. It got you out of abundance, basically. With the Page of Swords, obviously that was some sort of new information that came in. It can also indicate someone who is a Gemini, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra energy. Someone who may be a little bit loose-lipped. All right, let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's see what's the light energy here. So if you're new here, we always look into the light and the shadow of what is going on. We have Latias using Mist Ball. So this is a dragon type card, which represents clearing a lot of dense energy. And so again, it does feel like there is dense energy that needs to be cleared. With Mist Ball, it feels like, and the Mist Ball is a fire and psychic attack. So it kind of feels like in your mind, in your third eye, in your mental space, you are feeling like this is a flame that you missed out on. It's like, how do I want to put this? I was seeing the imagery of like in baseball when someone gets thrown a ball and you miss, right? Like you strike. So I feel like So I feel like also this person, so again, it feels like a flame that it was like a missed opportunity or something. And it feels like, again, you still think that there's more of an opportunity of like, oh, I missed out, or this, of like something that you could do, or that this person, if they changed their mind or something else changed, that then you would be the Nine of Pentacles upright. Then you would feel better about yourself. Then you would feel more abundant, but that's not the case. No one can give those things to us, right? With Latias is also a legendary or mythical, which is also an airplane Pokemon. It's the feminine airplane. So I do feel like there is this aspect of, it's possible that maybe you were going to go see someone or they were going to come see you. There may have been some sort of missed flight here. But this does have to do with the feminine energy. And again, because it's dragon type, there's a lot of dense energy. So again, like beauty and how, like the aesthetic of enjoying physical life, right? It's like this person is dressed to the T in their nice linens in their bountiful garden. That feminine aspect is really striking out right now. It says it can telepathically communicate with people. It changes its appearance using its down that refracts light. And so again, it's talking about being able to telepathically communicate with people. So you may be psychically linked to this person, and maybe you linked in the root chakra and had some sort of sensual or sexual relationship with them. And then now, your psychic center is sort of tuned into them. It is talking about how it changes its appearance using the down that refracts light, which is obviously, down is a type of feather that certain birds have. And so it looks like maybe you are changing your appearance, right? You're doing something to change your appearance. Maybe you're getting a haircut or, wanting to change your style or something. But again, it does seem to be kind of out of feeling negatively about yourself rather than like, oh, you know what? I want to change. I want to, do something a little bit different now. Let's see what's in the shadow. Because it is talking about how it's refracting light. And again, like that's the feminine energy that is the feminine, which is naturally the shadow, is refracting that light. But let's take a look what's in the shadow here, Virgo. We have Haunter and Giga Impact here. So Haunter using Poison Ring and Aggron using Giga Impact. So yeah, this is a ghost of your past that is haunting your third eye. Poison Ring, I always take as a commitment that you got into that is poison. I always take it as like, maybe like an engagement, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical ring, but it's some sort of commitment that ended up being poison for you. I always use like like, or not always use, I always like envision someone who like puts a ring on and then notices that they have an allergic reaction, or someone who puts a ring on and like it like clamps onto them and they sort of like can't get it off. So again, this is you know, a ghost of your past that is haunting you. It says, it licks with its gaseous tongue to steal the victim's life force. It lurks in darkness for prey. Yeah, so it seems like this is someone who is an energetic vampire, basically. And again, it's lurking in the darkness. That is the feminine energy. And it licks with its gaseous tongue. Again, how I said someone's like loose-lipped. So, and again, with the emphasis on the tongue, I do feel like with the mist ball, there is something, maybe you're missing like the sexual connection, maybe that was there, or maybe even just talking to them. There definitely has something to do with the mouth. But they're stealing your life force, so that is obviously not the greatest thing to be going on in the shadow. With Agron using Giga Impact, again, this situation had a pretty big impact on you, and with Agron, it may be making you more aggressive than usual. It says it claims an entire mountain as its own. The more wounds it has, the more it has battled, so don't take it lightly. Then it's the Iron Armor Pokemon. And this is a Steel type, and Steel type represents, you know, protecting yourself and things like that. So, you know, even though this has had a Giga Impact, it's talking about how it claims the mountain. And the mountain, that's that Saturn energy that I was talking about. Saturn is how you climb a mountain, how you reach that stepwise success of your goal. And it seems like whatever long-term goal you had with this person, you have claimed them and the path to get to it. And it seems like you are saying like, this is mine, this person is mine, this journey is mine. And it's saying, you know, it doesn't matter how many wounds it has, right? That's how hard it's battled. So it seems like in the shadow where you are now is that you, again, you won't let this go. You've sort of claimed this situation as your own instead of releasing it, which is, of course, why it's making you aggressive, because you're actively battling something uphill. Like, this is a battle uphill for you. And it's talking about, you know, the more wounds, the more it has battled. So there also is this program that's running in the background of like, you know, I can take it, right? So maybe the normalcy is having to fight for what it is that you want, having to prove something, having to claim something, and having to battle and get wounded in the process. Maybe that's what you were programmed to believe that love is. So it seems like that's what's going on. And again, like we saw in the spinning Pokemon card right before we started, or after the cleansing ceremony, core heal, right? With Baldor. This is a core wound that you have that is making you want to fight and claim the territory rather than heal it. And again, it seems like you're in this stage of like, oh, what if I just changed what I looked like? What if I did this? So it's like you're trying to change your outward appearance instead of dealing with what's going on in the shadow, which is, you know, the feminine energy. And that's the thing, right? You change your energy and your material reality changes. But all right, Virgo, let's see what else is going on here. Three of Pentacles and Knight of Wands. So, Three of Pentacles, it seems like maybe you can't focus on work. This is the work energy or group project energy coming out in reverse. So there can be some confrontation when it comes to you and some other people. It's interesting. I'm getting two timelines. So for some of you, this is like a work issue where you just can't focus on work. And with the Knight of Wands, you'd rather focus on like creative and passion endeavors. For some of you, the other timeline or like group that I'm picking up on is there was a situation with three different people and you were supposed to be together in some sort of way. Perhaps it was like a poly situation, but with the Knight of Wands, there was someone here that was a sexual explorer that's not actually serious about commitment here. So Take what's yours and leave the rest. Let's see, what's the light energy here for you, Virgo? We have Larvesta using bug bite in reverse. So it's like, how do I want to put this? There's some sort of transformation that you're going through, but you're in the larval state. It's like you're just entering the cocoon. And you know that you have to. But again, it's not actually changing the surface level, right? You can't just glue wings onto yourself. You know that you have to go into some sort of a kind of a hermit mode, right? That's a Virgo thing. With bug bite in reverse, it's like you're trying not to let this bug your heart chakra. Let's see. It says the base of volcanoes is where they make their homes. They shoot fire from their 5 horns to repel attacking enemies. Yeah, so the base of volcanoes is where they make their homes. That's very explosive type energy. And so it's telling me that this situation that happened, even though it's caused turmoil, it's not actually bugging your heart chakra, because again, it seems like your heart chakra is used to this type of abuse or this type of pattern, right? Of like, oh, I'm just going to fight. I don't care how many wounds I have, wounds I get from this. I'm going to keep battling and keep claiming this as my territory sort of thing. Because maybe you claimed this person, right? Poison ring. It could be a marriage or just maybe even a nonverbal commitment. Maybe just in your mind you decided to be committed to them. But it's like where your heart has its home is at the base of a volcano. So it seems like your heart chakra is used to this type of volatility. I'm sure you've gone through multiple situations where there has been someone who was not really serious about commitment, someone who only used you for their own pleasure, or someone who, said, oh yeah, we can all be together or whatever, but wasn't actually serious about it. Or again, whatever the situation is, it's just repeating. So this is not your first rodeo of this nature. And it's talking about how they shoot fire from their 5 horns to repel attacking enemies. So again, it seems like you're still trying to claim this. And instead of holding this Knight of Wands responsible, someone who was not true, someone who, isn't regarding your heart with high esteem and isn't really treating you with respect or honesty, instead of holding them responsible, it's like you're attacking other people, which are maybe the third parties involved, or maybe people are trying to give you advice and you're attacking them. And again, it's because your heart is not bugged by being betrayed. It's not bugged by whatever. It puts you in attack mode and claiming mode rather than, okay, I need to figure out why this keeps happening to me mode. So let's see what's going on in the shadow. We have Togepi in reverse, Noibat, Glide, and trainer bodybuilding dumbbells. So Togepi, Daunt in reverse. So this has to do with, this is a fairy type, right? So it has to do with some sort of soul contract. And with Daunt, part of it is the soul contract that's going on here. Again, you don't daunt this type of relationship, this type of soul contract. For you, it's normal to see or to be involved with relationships of people who pretend like they want one thing and then don't actually, want it. Or maybe they actually did never. Again, I was getting, for some of you, you are like, you just made this commitment up in your head. They never asked you. They never put a ring on it. They never, they never asked for commitment, but you've decided to sort of claim them. And again, this is not daunting for you. This is something that you're used to. Togepi is a baby Pokemon. So this is something that probably it has been ingrained in you since before you were born, right? Since you were a baby. Maybe this is the type of relationships that your parents modeled, or the relationships that they went through, or the type of relationships that you got into at a very young age. It says, the shell seems to be filled with joy. It is said that they will share good luck when they are treated kindly. And again, it's talking about the shell is filled with joy, right? The shell is the exterior. So it's like, again, it feels like if you are just some way on the outside, then you'll be joyful. And with trainer bodybuilding dumbbells, again, it's like you're trying to change your physical body rather than do the healing. It's like, oh, if I just looked this way or whatever, then things would be better. And it's talking about how it said it will share good luck when it's treated kindly. And again, it's like you may be feeling that, you know, if, right, because again, this type of soul contract is not daunting, is like if someone treats you kindly, right, if they maybe have a good day or whatever, then like, oh, it's just a lucky day, there's no drama, there's no problem. When really what we want is the opposite, right? We want people to treat us kindly on a daily basis, to do right by us, be honest, etc., etc. And if there's a mistake and they do something that hurts us, that should be the exception, right? That should be something that's like very rare, right? Not the being nice part. And then we have Noibat using Glide. So again, another dragon type. This is talking about a lot of dense energy that is in the shadow. And with Glide, this is a psychic dark type, which is telling me that your mind is basically just coasting in the darkness, on the shadow energy. It says, after nightfall, they emerge from the caves they nest in during the day. Using their ultrasonic waves, they go on the hunt for ripened fruit. And it's the sound wave Pokemon. So again, I was also getting this in the cleansing ceremony. You might be a little bit more nocturnal than normal. And for some of you, maybe that's why you can't really focus on work at the moment and maybe calling off and so on. Because it's talking about emerging from the cave, that it is, you know, at night, and it sleeps in the cave during the daytime. So that's very much like hermit mode that I was picking up on. So yeah, I definitely feel a lot of hermit mode energy for you. So we are going to head to the extended. As I mentioned, if you're an IG subscriber, you can just go ahead and hop on the next live that you will see at the top of your screen, or in the IG subscriber area. If you are not an IG subscriber, consider becoming one. I am going to increase the price within the next week. I think right now it's like $2.99 or something, and it's going to increase immensely now that I'm putting my readings on here. So if you want to get it at a great price, Virgo, you are the first to know about that. And if you don't want to become an IG subscriber, and if you are already an Eagle or Phoenix member on my website, the extended is going to be posted within 24 hours. So I will make an announcement on my stories about that, maybe even drop something on there. But to bring us into the extended, I'm going to pull an oracle. So let's see what the romance angels want to say. Ooh, I was feeling like I was hearing some like mean laughter, and I feel like that is some issues within of how meanness was programmed as love, likely by parental figures. So anyway, let's see. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And again, maybe some of you need to broaden your mind when it comes to soulmate, because you know, some of you may be thinking like, oh, I can't let them go, or I have to claim them because they're my soulmate. Sure, we have so many different types of soulmates. As I mentioned, friends, lovers, pets, mentors, co-workers. These are all different types of soulmates, different types of soul contracts. And this person, honey, is a suffering soulmate. They treat you like SHIT, okay? So keep an open mind. Maybe the partner that you are actually seeking is different than your usual type, right? Different than your usual expectations. Maybe they don't treat you poorly. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it can come to you now. Again, do you really want this person who behaves this way? You can't change them, right? Maybe the outside can change. Maybe they'll lift some extra weights and look like a buff ting. Maybe they'll get a different haircut. Maybe you can do that too, right? You can change what you look on the outside, but do you want to stay in the same misery and wounding? Okay, very soon you need to decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And reconciliation, someone from your past is returning to your life. Woof. So likely this, Knight of Wands, again, knights come and go. They don't make commitments. They are travelers, but it does look like they're coming back around and want to reconcile. And that's why you need to decide very soon. Do you want to stay with the same type of person, or are you ready to, do your healing and open up to a different type of soul contract, one of love and happiness and joy? So we are going to head into the extended and just see where it goes from there. Thank you everyone who tuned in. And again, you can either watch the extended on my website within the next 24 hours for Eagle and Phoenix members only, or IG subscribers here. Ta-ta!